All right, good morning, everybody. Back at it again from from yesterday's, day off, pretty much. Got the pre-market insight for this Thursday. Um, Looking at the economic outlook, economic outlook. We see that we have a pretty busy day today. We got the non-farm employment change and the PMI crude oil inventories at 10:30, and then um, Fed Chair Powell. He's going to speak at the close of today's U.S. session. Um, get some water. Um, the today's volume strength. The market is really strong in terms of volume. We got crude oil that's above 300K in volume, and the Nasdaq is sitting at it's well over 100K of volume. Um, those are the two that's over the 100K mark. And the a big reason that a lot of the journalists, the market journalists, are you can see from a lot of headlines that we have a lot of gap down today from the today's future session, and they're blaming it on the Hawaii CFO being arrested. And I didn't read it too much into the article. I just saw the headline, and so I don't know exactly what happened there, but that's the reason that everybody's saying that we've gapped down so much. So we go ahead and look into today's daily chart for the Nasdaq. You can see we had this huge this huge drop. Now technically it doesn't look like a gap, but the reason that it would be a gap is because most of that move happened right at the open, according to the 5-minute chart. According to what the chart looks like, not really sure why. You see it gap down a little bit, and then we have this big red candle, which this would be as soon as the market opened. Never really seen that before, so I'm not really sure, why that's the case. Uh, why it wouldn't be just, why that it would, because I don't know. I wasn't watching it when the market opened, so I didn't see how all of that unfolded. That's really rare to see a huge drop like that at the first. It'll be the first 5 minutes of the open, but like that everyone started selling off as soon as the market opened. Then it calmed down. Normally it would happen when during that hour, like so. Yeah, so let's say we had a normal day yesterday, and then there's the typical hour close. The sell off or the drop in the price would happen during that hour. So when the market opens back up, you would see where the new price is, and it would show as a gap down. But here it shows it all in the first 5 minutes of today's future session. But at any rate, so we got a huge bearish candle early in today's pre-market. After that drop, we pretty much we kept slowly declining. Overall is down more than 2%. So um, it would it would definitely make sense to see some retracement, and I would treat this as as a typical gap down where we would eventually have to fill this gap. Um, so that's what I'll be looking for. If I wouldn't, and you see we're coming down into some pretty strong support, so I wouldn't really be looking. I'm not going to really be looking for to be too aggressive on the bearish side. But however, with the news catalyst, it's definitely possible. Um, I would like to see a little bit of retracement, but got to be ready for anything. So if we do get the some more continuation bearish, I would be looking to just get in and out of the trade. I wouldn't be looking to get in and hold it, because I think we should get um, some bullish retracement at some point. Um, and it's pretty much the same across the board. Here's the Russell, here's the S&P, and with that headline, here's the Dow. So it's there. As far as the daily chart is concerned, for the past few days, everything is pretty much looks identical. All right, so moving on over to the crude. Let me bring up the continuous um, whatever it's called. All right, the continuous contracts. Okay. Uh, so at in the European session, in the Asian hours, we had a little bit of bearish trading, but not it's I would say that's more neutral, sideways, slightly bearish. But then once we got into the Euro hours, there's some pretty strong sell off. We're coming back into that 50 moving average, and it's retesting that area. If we I wouldn't be looking for any bullish trends until we break this area here, like the 5180 area. Um, we can definitely continue lower, but we also got to pay attention to the daily that we traded down into that support. And just looking at the way that the daily candle has shaped so far, we're seeing a lot of resistance at the support again. So we could test it again. I wouldn't be surprised to see it trade sideways for the rest of the day, or trade down, have another bearish grind down to that support again, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays off. I won't be making any trades on crude oil today, so I'll just be watching that to see how that unfolds. All right, so moving over to gold. On the daily chart, we're kind of slowing down on the volatility. You see here in the right before the like between the Asian and the European session, we've kind of this would be at the beginning of the European session, like their pre-market, I guess. Um, we had a nice little drop, and we've been just trading in a nice little rest pattern from that drop around 1 a.m. Eastern time. So there's not a lot of volume. We go over here and switch over to the daily chart and look at the volume. It's only 77,000 in terms of volume. So we could could just hang out today, or I would we came up and there's a little bit of resistance here. So um, I would be more bearish to neutral today for gold. And with the euro, go ahead and get rid of all these drawings. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. There's not a lot of volatility. It looks like we're trying to push lower. I think if we I'm gonna add the drawings back in. Okay, that's too much. All right, let me zoom in. Let me see. All right, start over. If we break this area, I will that's some pretty decent support. We could definitely have a nice little um, um, move bearish if we break this support here. As usual, if we do, I would be looking for a retest and then the drop, or if it I think if it breaks that support and strongly, then it'll be coming back and we'll have a wick. But again, I won't be trading this. um, I don't see like we're not really on in terms like on a daily, we're not really trending too heavily. So I just see a lot of kind of range bound volatility. If maybe not even that much volatility because the volume is pretty well. It's pretty normal in terms of volume, and then we don't have a strong trend. It looks like we're coming into, actually it's consolidated right now, forming this pennant pattern. So as of right now, we are pretty much bearish to neutral. We had a little dip, and the same as gold, we had a bearish drop, and we're retracing, and we bounced off the support here several times. So I'm not saying anything personally. I'm not saying anything too exciting with the euro today. So my eyes today will be on the indices today to see how they respond to all the sell-off leading up into the opening bell. And I'll be more than likely I'll be just trading the Russell. All right. So that's the pre-market insight for today. I hope you guys go out there and crush it. And I will see y'all for the mid-market futures recap.